This is NR2003 Predicts. We take the entry list of NASCAR's top 3 series, send them through the ratings algorithm, and see who comes out on top. Here's a few tidbits to know heading in. The driver ratings are updated race by race to reflect the performance of that driver throughout the season, as well as at that specific track in recent years. The races are at 100% length and use normal tire and fuel wear. The starting lineup will match the real-life qualifying using the provisional starting order, not the one that includes drivers heading to the back. The weather will match the real-life start time data, and commentary will match the real-life scenarios, not the standings that will be posted at the end of the video. And as always, this series is for entertainment purposes only. Using artificial intelligence and using the results of this race for gambling purposes is discouraged. Taking a quick look at the other two divisions, Kyle Busch getting into a little bit of a traffic jam with a couple lapped cars. Zane Smith, Chase Elliott, Sheldon Creed, all in that little bubble there trying to go for the win, but Busch comes out on top, gets back at Elliott for beating him a couple weeks ago at Charlotte. Other drivers having good days. Jeb Burton had a 6th place run in his first start of the season. Matt Crafton not so hot in 21st. Brett Moffitt had an engine issue that put him all the way back to 40th. Meanwhile, on the Xfinity side, Harrison Burton comes across the line first. He will take a pretty sizable victory in contrast to that truck race over Anthony Alfredo, followed by Austin Cindric, Noah Gragson, and Chase Briscoe rounding out the top 5. Not so hot days for Michael Annett and Ryan Sieg, who finished in the back part of the field with mechanical problems. So now we move on to the main event. Chase Elliott, the hometown hero, and Aric Almirola make up the front row, followed by Joey Logano and Kyle Busch. Green flag flies here at Atlanta. They continue to go side by side down the backstretch several rows deep. There's plenty of opportunity to look for a different groove, and it looks like Almirola is holding his own on the outside over Chase Elliott, going to get a little bit of an advantage. And Elliott happens to be the best average finish here among the active drivers, 10.5, no one eclipsing 10. Looks like this track is definitely one that's going to beat up on drivers. And tire wear is definitely going to be a factor here today. Almirola is going to lead the first lap. Jimmie Johnson's the winningest driver here among the active drivers, and there's not too many names in the field that have won here. Only 6 of them. Johnson leading away with 5. Kurt Busch has 3 here. Several with 2, and Denny Hamlin with 1. Doesn't help that we've only gone here once in the past few years, but Johnson definitely one to look out for. He's had some solid performances this year, but hasn't been able to pull it off for a victory, as he hasn't been able to do for just about 3 years. Kurt Busch trying to make a move on his brother Kyle for the lead. Those two have put up several top 5s here in the past. Matt Kenseth, Jimmie Johnson, Kevin Harvick, those that have beaten them out in that statistic. Matt Kenseth also happens to be the leader in top 10s among the active drivers, and his return to NASCAR hasn't been too fruitful. He had that impressive top 10 at Darlington the first race back, but since then, seems like things have been going backwards for him as he continues to try to work his way forward. He is kind of mid-pack at this point. Kevin Harvick trying to squeak his way underneath Ryan Preece to go for the lead over Kurt Busch. Wouldn't you know it, the top 2 have the most laps led. Harvick leading away with over 1,000 laps at the front of the field, and Kurt Busch just over 800. Look at this, Matt Benedetto once again impressing. He has put up only top 20 performances this season at all the different tracks that we've gone to, and right now contending to get past Kevin Harvick. He has really put up an impressive showing so far, but has yet to earn a victory. Brad Keselowski, the most recent winner, he's won the past 2 Sundays, trying to make it 3 in a row on this day of the week. But Kevin Harvick trying to see if he can get a little bit of distance between him. It looks like he, along with Kyle Busch, are going to be some of the first to come down for the first green flag pit stop. Just about halfway through the first stage. Kurt Busch going to be one of the last to come down, as he's able to lead for a little bit. Looks like Keselowski might have stayed out once again. But there's going to be problems for Chase Elliott. You can see him stalled on pit lane. Everyone going by him, but he is just sitting there. He looks like he has a problem underneath the hood. Speaking of problems, Ty Dillon just after that pit stop, he's going to come down. Looks like he has a suspension problem. And that is not going to be good for him. He's going to take it behind the wall. That is it for his day. He'll be scored dead last. So once we get back past the green flag pit stops, it's going to be Harvick out in front, but Kurt and Kyle, they're staying within proximity, but there's going to be a little traffic in the way. Approaching the end of the first stage, and Tyler Reddick looking to go a lap down at the hands of Kevin Harvick along with Denny Hamlin. Reddick putting up a solid performance right now in the top 10. Has the opportunity here to get a stage point or 2. which is something that he could really use, trying to see what he can do to get himself into the playoff conversation. And we come to the end of Stage 1. Harvick going to beat out Kurt and Kyle Busch, along with Brad Keselowski. Matt Benedetto ends up top 5 in this one. Tyler Reddick ends up in 9th. He's able to get around Denny Hamlin for an extra point. They'll take pit stops underneath the yellow, and Kevin Harvick will still lead the way. Coming back to the restart, Keselowski gets up 3rd, though. He's going to be able to break up that Busch duo. But Harvick's going to try to use the clean air to see if he can get away from everyone else, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen quite yet. Joey Logano making a move to the outside. We haven't talked about him too much as of this point. He is trying to make a move around Kyle Busch for 2nd and might have a little momentum on the outside line to get down to the inside of Harvick. Doesn't look like it's going to happen here as the 22 driver looks for his first victory at this racetrack. Alex Bowman, a driver that showed a lot of improvement coming into this season. He was able to win his 2nd race in his career, do it in one of the first 4 races of the season, meaning he's going to the playoffs already, but right now, just trying to hold it onto it as he runs mid-pack and not too stellar, along with his teammate William Byron, who has kind of been looking for some better performances. He's going to go another lap down here as Harvick and those other lead lap cars start to shoot by, and 24 car really looking for some good runs here. Looks like those top 3 have been able to get away as Aric Almirola working his way to the outside of Kurt Busch, but those 2 are well back of the leaders, a few seconds to be exact. We're going to have some more mechanical problems here as Garrett Smithley goes up in smoke, going to hold up Timmy Hill a little bit as he tries to get it down to the bottom side of the racetrack. Smithley going to be out of the race on this one. Harvick's going to come down for a pit stop from the lead. Still have yet to see an incident caution. Only that first stage break. But Harvick taking that early stop is going to be very beneficial to him as there is almost no one in his rearview mirror. You can see Chase Elliott. He was able to get back on the racetrack, but he is multiple laps down, trying to see what he can do to work his way back up. Quinn Houff, though, going to have a mechanical problem here as he goes through turns 3 and 4. He'll take it down to the pits, try to get some service on it, but unfortunately, that's going to be the end of his day. Michael McDowell has also been having problems throughout this race as Kevin Harvick goes blowing by. 34 has not been up to speed, and he's going to come down for a pit stop as well. Try to see what he can do to fix some problems. Stage 2 finishes up. Harvick once again gets the victory. He will sweep the stages. Keselowski, Logano making it 2-3 for Penske. Aric Almirola, Kurt Busch rounding out the top 5. Keselowski, though, is going to get the jump on the pit lane, and he's going to lead the field to the restart. Pretty fast pit crew for the number 2 car. Harvick, though, will only drop back to 2nd, so now it's a matter of just getting back to the 2 car and trying to get that clean air. He's going to have a little competition, though, as Aric Almirola comes up to his teammate. Trying to see what he can do to get to the inside of the 4 car, but it looks like right now 4 might just be a little bit quicker, although 10 looking once again, trying to make that inside line work. Unfortunately, though, not quite able to get it just yet as the 2 car now trying to work around lap traffic. That's the 7 of Reed Sorensen. And he's holding up the 2 of Keselowski a little bit as Harvick tries to go to the inside, makes it 3 wide. Trying to see if we can make a move going into the corner. But just can't quite pull it out yet as Keselowski maintains the lead. Kyle Busch has gotten back into the conversation as he runs just behind Harvick. Almirola slipping back a little bit. But the 18 car trying to see what he can do to get another victory here at this racetrack. Hasn't won here since 2013, his other victory coming in 2008. But Keselowski's starting to check out on this grid. He has put a major gap between himself and Harvick as he goes by Michael McDowell to put him another lap down. And here comes Chase Elliott trying to still work his way up the field. You can see he's holding pace with a lead lap car, Joey Logano. Leave it to irony. Those are the 2 cars that tangled last week at Bristol. Hopefully Logano cuts him a little break right here. Not trying to race for position, although it might hold him up a little bit, but Elliott's still looking strong, just doesn't have the laps there to catch up. Johnson's going to come down, lead the field to green flag pit stops for possibly the final time. Here comes Keselowski from his lead, which has become pretty sizable. He's trying to see what he can do to maintain that, see if he can come a little earlier. Meanwhile, Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick, they stay out a little later, but that might not be such a great move at this racetrack, which really values tires. And Keselowski still going to be out in front, this time over Aric Almirola. 10 car gets into the 2nd position, but Keselowski still well in control of this race and hoping not to see a caution. Looks like the 10 car, though, is going to get caught up in traffic as the 4 catches up. And Harvick's going to sweep back up to 2nd place. Almirola still trying to see if he can get a good run today, but didn't look like it came at those hands. And here comes Denny Hamlin. He's working to get a position on Matt DiBenedetto. Hamlin a winner here before, but not going to happen today as he is still a lap down. But he will be able to get another spot, earn himself another point, try to see what he can do to work his way into those regular season standings. That will be very important at the end of race number 26. Kevin Harvick's starting to close in a little bit on Keselowski, but unfortunately, though, the laps are winding down, and it just doesn't look like he's going to be able to catch him. Kurt Busch is just in front of the 2 car right now, trying to get his lap back and make sure he stays on lead lap for the end of this race, but Keselowski has a massive lead on this field right now, and with the white flag showing, the next flag will end the race. Keselowski's been absolutely dominant at this track as of late. The defending winner of this race, even though it took place in February last year, also won it in 2017 and finished runner-up in 2018. This is going to be 4 straight top 2s for the driver of the number 2 as he comes around the corner. Might try to put Kurt Busch a lap down, but doesn't ultimately matter because the number 2 car, Brad Keselowski, going to win here at Atlanta. Solid run for Keselowski, who's able to beat out Kevin Harvick, who swept the first 2 stages, and Harvick got pretty close to him, ended up within 2 seconds at the end, had to make a huge comeback to make that happen, but Keselowski had just enough little laps for him not to catch up. Almirola will maintain the 3rd position. Kyle Busch comes up with the top 5. Eric Jones as well. Tyler Reddick will be able to maintain a good top 10 finish. Good run for the rookie driver. Martin Truex Jr., Clint Boyer, Jimmy Johnson, Ryan Blaney just outside the top 10. John Hunter Nemechek has been impressing people for a lot of these Cup races so far. He finds himself in the 15th spot, as you can also see Alex Bowman having a little bit of a lackluster day down in 18th. Also his Hendrick teammate William Byron all the way back here in 22nd. Cole Custer and Christopher Bell, 2 other rookies, finishing here in 23rd and 27th. Chase Elliott pulls it all the way back to 24th, despite falling several laps down based on his long pit stop, having to go under the hood and see what was wrong with his car. Michael McDowell having pretty unexplainable problems that leave him well under power. He finishes 36th. Quinn Houff, Garrett Smithley, and Ty Dillon all drop out of the race with mechanical problems. That is it for NR2003 Predicts. We hope you enjoy the race, and we will see you all next time.